Hey everybody, Andrew Garda from the Montclair local here at Millburn High School, where the Mounties have fallen to the Millers 55-39, and if you saw my halftime video, you're probably wondering what happened, but it was a very different second half. The Mounties just couldn't execute defensively and offensively. They just seemed to be some disconnect. And talking to Coach Gary Wallace after the game, he talked a lot about how the little things aren't getting done in practice, the small things aren't getting done off the court, and of course then that translates to on the court, because how you practice is how you play. And this is a Montclair team that's still struggling with the process. I mean, obviously this is only his second year. Gary Wallace is still trying to input a new way of doing things for the Mounties, and the team is struggling a little bit with it. For every guy like Taryn Earl, who you could depend on, who comes through with a championship mentality because of the state championship in football, there are guys who are still trying to figure out how to act like Taryn in some respect. Not exactly like Taryn, but to do all of the small things, to buy into what Wallace is giving them. And, the frustrating thing, I'm sure, for Wallace, as it is for anybody watching, is there are times when this team, or part of this team, does not listen to the coaches on the bench. They're telling them to do something, and, the Mounties are just off doing whatever. And that's that. The little things on the court not working, during a game, just like they don't work, in practice or in the classroom. So, right now the Mounties are looking at the state tournament. They play Hackensack. They've got 2 weeks to figure out how do they do those little things right. How do they get the game on the court to look like what it should be on practice, and really to live life like that, to do all of the little things correctly, because that's how you become successful. It's going to be a tough game against Hackensack, just like today was a tough game. And listen, Millburn is a team that's a very disciplined, very well-coached team, and yet they're not that much better than the Mounties. This is a game the Mounties could have and should have won. Hackensack's another degree harder. So they really got to get their P's and Q's together. Wallace is going to work on them, but ultimately this comes down to this team buying in. If you want to see and read more of my thoughts, check out the website on Thursday, montclairlocal.news, and of course the print edition of the Montclair Local on Thursday. For the Montclair Local, this is Andrew Garda. Have yourself a great weekend.